Hey there, good morning on this Monday, January 20th. Happy Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day and Inauguration Day here on this Monday here on News 6. You're watching Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm Bridgett Ellison, and it's good to be with you here on News 6 Plus YouTube and clickorlando.com. This is a cold one for the record books, and it's certainly complicating things all across the country. And so we're going to get a check of that forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. And Candace, we have been talking about this weather for several days now. We knew it was coming, and it is frigid out there. We have Matt Austin joining us in a few moments live from D.C. with all the complications that have happened up there because of this cold air.
Right. I mean, and at the end of the day, our weather is not going to be anywhere close to as cold as what Matt is experiencing.
Of course.
They're also seeing a little bit of snow earlier. So we are going to continue to watch this basic cold front. It is basically shifted further south, and that's bringing us that nice cold air. Now, just a few hours ago, Orlando was at 53. Now we're in the 40s. So that cold air, remember, it always takes a little bit of time to get settled into Central Florida. So it will today. We're going to stay dry. We're going to have a little more sunshine, not tons, but a little sunshine before the rain, the clouds, all of that starts surging back into the forecast by early tomorrow morning. The only problem is that it's going to continue to stay chilly. So it's going to be a weird setup where we have that off and on rain like we do with like typical tropical systems. So it's going to feel tropical in the rain department, but still feeling like winter. The temperature. Yeah, it's a real weird one here in Central Florida, and I'll show you the reason why this winter weather weirdness. Oh, I like that. I might add that to my story I'm writing right now. All right, let's take it to the maps and show you what's going on, Bridgett. The satellite and radar composite shows the picture exactly. Shows all the things that are going on. You see the blue. It's making its way further south. You can see it going. We have that cold front that is just sitting stationary now over the Florida Straits. Now that front is going to start to retreat back north, keeping us on the cold side of things. We're going to still stay north of that front. But the problem is that we're going to be tracking little pulses of little disturbed weather, little rounds, waves of rain that are going to continue to clip the kind of the South Gulf Coast states there from areas of Louisiana and Alabama and Mississippi, and here in the Panhandle, we're all going to be seeing a lot more rain kind of riding over the cold air. But where the air is below freezing, that's where that winter mix could certainly set up. Sorry, I just jumped here. All right, here's what's ahead for the next 3 days. Cold and dry today. Highs are going to stay in the upper 40s to low 50s today. Then the cold rain returns. That's tomorrow and Wednesday. Rain chances will be likely about 60 to 90%, where our friends to the north from Gainesville northward will have the potential for kind of a wintry mix. Some areas will see sleet, some areas will see rain, some areas will see measurable snow, and I'll show you where in just a few seconds here. So temperatures out the door right now. Again, we started off at 53 at the beginning of the 5 a.m. show. We're down to 46 in Orlando. So again, that cold air is making its way into Central Florida. Notice Villages just updated now, 39. Palm Coast is at 38. But if you're watching us from Brevard County, you're saying, where's the 40s? We haven't seen it yet. Well, the cold air hasn't made its way there yet. It will throughout the day. We do have freeze warnings in effect for Flagler and Marion County, as some of our more kind of sheltered zones, neighborhoods there could get below that 32-degree mark. We have cold weather advisories as the wind chill, along with those cold conditions, could get down to about those 20s and 30s. That does include now Sumter County as well. But we're talking almost like a flat line when it comes to those temperatures. Right now, we're in those 40s throughout the next hour or so. Temperatures are going to try to get into those 50s. We're going to be teetering upper 40s, low 50s all throughout the day. That's about 20 degrees below average, with then temperatures dropping off again, even colder later on tonight. Notice your highs. Again, Palm Coast, Marion County, you guys could actually stay in the 40s the majority of the day. Then later on tonight, down into those 30s, a little colder tonight than it was this morning across most of Central Florida. And then the rain chances come up. This is not a good chance of a line of rain. This is going to be rounds of moisture that it will continue to cross over the Sunshine State. So let me show you here. This is clouds and rain forecast. The skies will clear today. Not looking bad till about 6 o'clock this evening. It will be cold, but we will have some sunshine mixed in. Then comes the cloud cover overnight. here comes the rain. That will start coming in actually from the south as that front continues to kind of retreat back north. A couple of those heavy downpours. We could see some measurable rainfall when this is all said and done. This is off and on rain throughout Tuesday. Notice this is 7 o'clock in the evening, and even more rain continues to push through into late Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. Notice there's a lot of pink shading up there on the top of your screen. That is actually sleet that will be possible. And then all of that rain continues to push through early Wednesday morning, and then finally starting to clear out by Wednesday afternoon and into early Thursday. But notice to our north, that's going to be a very tricky forecast because basically you're playing with two different air masses and a whole lot of moisture. You got some warmer air to the north, cold air to the north, warm air to the south, and then that rain is just going to make things just a mess. This is some snow accumulations we haven't seen in quite some time across the Big Bend and the Panhandle, which is why winter storm watches, they're in effect throughout at least Wednesday. But look how much snowfall we could actually see in areas of Pensacola, up to 4 to 8 inches of actual snowfall.
Wow.
That is a potential that we could see there. Locally here, there is no big chance for any rain, any snow or sleet. Areas in Marion County, there will be that potential of a little bit of freezing rain in the forecast if the timing works out. And that would happen again Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. That will be the thing that we're really going to be focusing on tomorrow. But in the meantime, today, the big story is the chill for your Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day / Inauguration Day. But again, we're going to term tomorrow an inconvenient weather day just because of the messy weather that's in store.
Yeah, that sounds like one we're going to have to get ready for tonight and get the stuff laid out and just brace ourselves.
Yeah, layer up. You want to
Yeah.
stay warm on 4 layers and then maybe a rain jacket on the outside that can kind of whisk away any rain that we deal with.
All right. All right. Sounds good. We'll make it. We'll see you in a little bit, Candace.
We'll survive this winter, I promise.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Thank you so much. All right. See you in a bit. Okay. All right. We want to check in on the traffic with Trooper Steve. It is a holiday, but there's still traffic rolling out there. And how's it going, Trooper Steve? Good morning.
Good morning. I am using my brand new work phone for this.
Oh, yeah. It
And
looks
I
different.
love it. I love this right now. It is.
You
I
got a
look like
filter
I'm
on?
a
You got a filter on or something?
no filter. This is natural, Bridget. This is
Smooth.
natural.
Very
Nice.
smooth.
Yeah, it's like the new Pixel. I got it opened, and man, this is
I
convenient.
should have
Look at
thought of
this.
that.
Right? But you have a whole studio right there. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Try something different every now and then. But you are so right. It is a holiday, but we are still seeing a lot of traffic out there this morning. So people just need to pay attention. Nothing too major out there. We will not be doing a Trooper Steve on patrol today because of all the streams that we will be providing on News 6 Plus and all throughout the day for the inauguration. And I'm really excited to see Matt here in the next few. Simply because usually I'm out in the elements. So it's nice to see Matt out in the element. But it'll be a great time there. So no stream today at 10 a.m. But I'll give you your traffic and show you what's going on around town right now. So there is a crash out there at Howell Branch Road. That's going to be in Seminole County, just right before you to get to Lake Howell Road. So just please be careful as you're cruising out there. It's one of the only crashes currently with some roadblock. Look at this drive time. That's nice this morning. 28 minutes, Kissimmee to downtown Champions Gate. Eastbound to 408 along I-4, only a 28-minute drive. And then that earlier crash that we had off of Simpson Road down in Buenaventura Lakes in Osceola County has been cleared. Orange County, these are kind of hanging out a little bit. We have some minor crashes along West State Road 50, Colonial Drive. One out here by Powers and another one there just west of Janya. So your westbound traffic this morning through Seminole belongs to you. 16 minutes from 417 to kind of the downtown area. DOT cam showing that traffic is moving nice this morning. Once it updates, it's the sun's up, I promise. Along the turnpike, look at that, Bridget. Things are flowing nice. So take it nice and easy, guys, today. If you have the day off, maybe help a neighbor out. Active service and kindness today is the way to do it. And then, of course, we'll no stream, and we'll be showing you all the inaugurational ceremonies for today.
Very nice. Very nice. We were talking about the weather on the morning show, and you said that as far as traffic goes for North Florida and all of that right now, it's a little bit nerve-wracking looking at that forecast.
Absolutely. When I saw Candace's radar and then she explained how everything kind of was moving down and that it could cause some snow and sleet on the roadways, I have never heard Florida troopers talking about icy conditions or what contributes to a crash. And then you put black ice and things like that. But it's very possible. So people need to be very careful if you're leaving town and you haven't driven through anything like that. As a Floridian, this is something we do not train for or let alone even test for. So
Yeah.
people just need to be overly cautious if you can avoid being on the roads for maybe the next 24 hours along I-10. Hey, I'd avoid it, and then those temperatures will spike back up and that ice is not going to last very long.
Yeah, and like you said, so many people not really used to those types of conditions, and like you said, with the ice, it's something that sometimes you can't even see, and we have so many bridges over lots of our roadways around all over the state. So really up there, I hope that
that's a great point.
safe.
Real quick, that's actually a really good point. You make a huge traffic point. Bridges, they will ice way faster than the main roadway will. So you have to be really careful. There's some signs along I-10 too when you get those rural counties out west, Santa Rosa and things like that. They'll say caution, bridge may ice and things like that. So when you're going over these overpasses, be very aware.
Yeah, and hopefully they can close roads if need be, but hopefully it doesn't get that bad. But yeah. All right.
I hope not.
All right. Well, we'll see you a little bit later. And like you said, we'll be watching all the festivities a little bit later here on News 6 Plus. All right. Thanks, Steve.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. So we do want to get over to Matt, and he has a story for us about some local Central Floridians headed up to D.C. and the latest on their journey to participate in all the inaugural events and all the changes. Here's Matt.
Why are you headed to D.C.?
We're going to Trump's inauguration.
Tina, Laurel, Michelle, and Gina are making the inauguration a girls' trip, but it quickly became complicated.
We have tickets, but that doesn't mean anything at this point. We have tickets for the rally and we have tickets for the inauguration. But according to what we understand, there's 250,000 tickets and only 20,000 seats. So most likely we won't get in, but we're going to give it our best shot.
The Trump campaign announced the inauguration will move inside the Capitol Rotunda because of the cold weather. Afterward, the newly minted president will head to the local arena to give a speech, but only a fraction of attendees will be able to fit inside.
Did you think about canceling?
We thought about it, then we thought about this is our last opportunity we'll ever have. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so we all wanted to do it. Yeah. We're diehards.
Either way, these Floridians from Windermere are more worried about the cold than their ticket arrangements.
How did you prepare for the cold?
Lots of layers.
He has long johns on right now.
Wait, we're in Florida still, and you have long johns on right now?
Yes, oh yeah. Ready.
And Matt joins us live this morning. Good morning, Matt. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing well. I know Steve wanted to see me out in the elements.
I
was out
know.
there for the live shot, but
Yeah.
that wasn't happening. I'm going to sit in my nice, cozy hotel room because I'm going to be out in that brutal weather for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I mean, we saw you freezing this morning on the morning show, and we get it. And I talked to you last week about did you have your heavy coat ready, and you and Anthony Murdoch, photojournalist Anthony Murdoch, out there, and you said that this has been quite the experience already with the weather.
Yeah, a few things. I looked back at my live shot from this morning, and I could see my eye watering, but I couldn't feel it because you can't feel your face.
Right.
So my nose was super red. And another funny thing, we Floridians are not built for this kind of weather. We were driving in the taxi. Yesterday was all about trying to get these things. I got a pass for the Secret Service. I have a pass for the parade. And I have a pass for the swearing-in ceremony. Now the parade one doesn't matter anymore because that got canceled. So we've been taking taxis all over town to try to get these different credentials just to be able to move around. Mm-hmm. And we were driving, and it started just pouring snow on the taxi. And I see my photographer Anthony Murdoch just kind of like looking out in amazement. And I go, "I bet you haven't seen snow in a while, huh?" And he goes, "Dude, I'm 36 years old. This is the first time I've ever seen snow in my entire life.
That is so special. Wow.
It was cool. Yeah, I posted that
Yeah.
on my Instagram and my Facebook. So if you want to see his moment of seeing snow for the first time, it was pretty cool. So I meant to get him out doing snow angels, but by the time we got to the hotel, the snow had stopped.
And it is really such a special thing to go and witness the inaugural events, even if there are changes, because the energy is totally different. Can you tell us about the atmosphere? I mean, even those ladies, they're gung-ho, even if they don't get to see everything they had hoped to see, but it's like you just have this energy to do it no matter what the weather does.
Yeah, I mean, outside of whatever your political affiliation is, just kind of seeing that moment where a new president takes the stage. I witnessed it in 2017 was the last time I was up here covering an inauguration. We didn't do 2020 because COVID and all that craziness was happening. But yeah, it is a moment. It feels big, and I'm interested to see how it goes this time around, because usually you're out on the National Mall, you're witnessing the president with his hand on the Bible, saying those words, and it is kind of a majestic. Yes, there's so many people around. Well, now they've moved it, because it's so cold, into the Capitol Rotunda, which isn't a very good place to witness it. It's just so small. Like it's now become a very VIP reception, which is nobody's fault. It's just so cold out that I think they didn't want people getting frostbite outside.
So they won't have jumbotrons nearby. It's all broken up.
That's the thing. Yes, that's a good point, because we expected, and there was a lot of talk about having big TVs out on the National Mall so people could watch it. I don't think they're encouraging people to be outside, so they're putting everybody in the Capital One Arena, but that only holds about 20,000 people, and there's 250,000 people ticketed for this event. So I was watching the local news this morning. It's probably where I'm going to head first. The Capital One Arena, they issued people tickets who were supposed to be on the National Mall, but to get the goods, they don't give you a seat. So people really want good seats. They want to be closer to where the action is. So they've been out since 9:00 last night in this cold. 20.
That's dangerous.
In the teens. I have a lady from Central Florida. She's from Marion County, and she told me she's got out there at 4 a.m. So I don't know how you do that. I was out for my live shot.
I just wish they wouldn't allow that. It's so dangerous. It is so cold. But
yeah, I know. I think they were trying to encourage people to not be outside, but because the numbers are so limited for who can fit inside, that everybody just started waiting. And I don't know. Hopefully everybody's okay. I don't think I could make it.
I know, and we talked about that, because you said, well, I've done skiing, and it's like when you're skiing, you're moving around, even though you're layered up, you're bundled up, but you're moving around too, so you have your body heat. But when you're just having to stand there for hours, just kind of in the same spot, but there is a lot of walking too, so that does help out when you're trying to get to these different events. But like you said, so much is canceled, and that wind chill, around 11 degrees at some point. So it's hard to say what people will do if they just will have to stay in their hotel rooms, or maybe the lobby, the hotel. I don't know.
I think people are trying to get creative, and there's some different watch parties going around, I've heard, and some people. I've been just texting with a million Central Floridians, trying to get in touch with them, see what their day's looking like. Most of them had no idea last night where they were going to be, what they were going to do. Some of them just said, "I'm going to be close to the Capitol," so they're not even going to be able to see anything. They just kind of want to be near the action. And then this Capital One Arena thing, it's not just a viewing party. The president is actually taking a motorcade over there. And he's going to give a speech. So it sounds like it'll be sort of a quasi rally, and that's why people are there, just to kind of see his first speech after officially becoming president for the second time.
Okay, and so where will you post up? When will we see you again?
So you're going to see me again. My next live shot is going to be at 5 p.m. on News 6. So national folks at CBS are going to take over the coverage, and they're going to show you the swearing-in ceremony on News 6. We're going to have feeds for that on News 6 Plus all day long. And then I am going to have my first live shot at 5 p.m. My next goal is to find Central Floridians who are trying to brave the cold. I've been texting with so many of them. And so I'm going to find them. I'm going to have stories for you at 5, 6, and 11 o'clock tonight. And my adventure begins, because really I have no idea where, it's that whole, like, you're going hunting. You don't know what you're going to find. And I'm hoping to find some Central Floridians who are experiencing this moment in history.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you find because there are so many really great stories, and you just never know who you're going to run into, and just I'm sure there will be some special nuggets that come out of this evening. So we hope you guys stay safe and warm, and we'll be watching for you a little bit later.
We'll stay safe. I'll tell
All
you
right.
that.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Matt, and thanks, Anthony.
Thanks.
You guys take care. Bye. All right. So, like you said, he's coming back up at 5, and we will have all the festivities here on News 6 Plus. Click Orlando. So, watch for those throughout the afternoon. News 6 at noon will come on later this afternoon, around 1:30 ish. So, that's what we're planning. And then we will go back for more coverage after that broadcast. But right now, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with a few of the top headlines here in Central Florida. Welcome back. We want to bring you some of the top headlines this morning. An Apopka neighborhood is in mourning this morning after a 6-year-old boy was hit and killed by a repeat DUI offender. Here is News 6's Jarrell Baker with more on that story.
Dozens in the Rock Springs community in Apopka lighting candles and saying prayers to lift up the family of a 6-year-old boy who was killed by a suspected drunk driver Saturday night.
I saw the kid playing with a few times with the kids. They've been having fun with each other. We make sure we gather enough people to volunteer to help out. So having all of these people grieving, it says something as a community.
Many placing crosses, toys, and other items near the memorial on White Cloud Avenue, where he lost his life.
You started that memorial. Why did you decide to do that?
Because he was only 6 years old. Like, he just started kindergarten. I don't know, it just touched my heart for him and his family.
The alleged killer, 53-year-old Francisco Rosilio Herrero, behind bars facing charges of DUI manslaughter, a third DUI violation, vehicular homicide, no driver's license causing death, and running a stop sign.
It's his third DUI. This isn't the first time this has happened. These people sit there and get 3 and 4 and 5 DUIs and keep doing it.
Several saying they've complained to management of Rock Springs Mobile Home Park about the need for added safety measures in the area, but they believe their concerns have fell on deaf ears.
It's not the first time. This is the second time a kid's gotten hit because of people racing around the corners, and it's not going to be the last time. And it's a shame. Don't mean anything personally, but it's a shame a kid got to die for everybody to come out here and do something.
Residents also say that they've seen several people speeding and driving dangerously in the area, and they fear for their children's lives.
No good for the children. They don't got swings to play around. They don't got a safety place where they can all gather together around bicycles or play on swings or play basketball.
It's really a heartbreaking story. We'll continue following that for more updates. Now we want to get to the latest about the TikTok ban, and we have been following this. You probably have too. Millions of users impacted by that temporary ban that went into effect at midnight Sunday, and now it's back online, and it lasted just hours, and now the company behind the platform is crediting President-elect Trump, and News 6's Mark Lehman explains more on what is happening with this ban and how Trump will address that later today.
After an hours-long outage over the weekend, TikTok is back online this morning. A law banning the app unless it's sold to a non-Chinese buyer is still in effect. And while no sale has happened, President-elect Trump says he plans to issue an executive order today to delay the ban and give TikTok more time to change ownership.
We won the youth vote by 36 points. So I like TikTok.
While the social media app is once again available to 170 million Americans, its future in the U.S. remains uncertain. Lawmakers say there's still concerns about national security, and they question why TikTok's parent company didn't move forward with a sale.
They decided not to do that. We should question why. Why didn't they want to do that? What is it with the algorithm that they don't want us to find out about it?
The executive order could also face legal challenges. Incoming National Security Advisor Mike Waltz says he's confident President-elect Trump can craft a deal after taking office later today.
We can have an app that Americans can enjoy, but at the same time that protects their data and protects them from outside influence.
And we'll continue to follow that one as well throughout the day. Of course, lots of headlines will be coming out of those executive orders expected out of D.C. today. Now to Disney and new details about some brand new entertainment options coming for the summer, including a new Magic Kingdom parade. Get this one. A stage show at Hollywood Studios, but the Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After allows guests to hear classic Disney tales from the side of the villains. And in a unique twist, Disney says guests will have the chance to change the outcome of the show. And the Magic Kingdom is set to show off its newest parade, Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away. The parade will roll down Main Street at night and features floats inspired by Cinderella, Moana, Frozen, and Encanto. So always something new to see, and you can always check out the latest theme park headlines with our newsletter over at clickorlando.com/newsletter. So many newsletters there. Great to sign up for that as well as becoming an insider. But that's going to do it for us. We will see you a little bit later. Of course, we'll have continuing coverage of all the inaugural events here on News 6 Plus, clickorlando.com, YouTube, and WKMG. Take care.